We're so close to the launch of the iPhone 17 that you might think the iPhone 12 and 13 are now outdated and have nothing solid to offer. Well, my friend, here's the catch. One of these phones is holding up better than the other, and it's not exactly what you might expect. If you own either of these phones or are thinking about picking one up in the second-hand market, knowing how these phones have aged is more important than ever. Has time turned the iPhone 13 from an incremental upgrade into a real advantage? Let's find out in this video. Now, design-wise, I don't think there's much to discuss. Both phones have a similar look and feel with the exception of the camera layout. The 12 does have an ever so slightly flat back, while the 13 does have a bit of a camera bump. The 12 is also lighter and thinner to a smaller degree. Both phones have a non-frosted back, which means they are both fingerprint magnets. The white color of the 12 does tend to hide them better. With a case on both phones, all this becomes irrelevant. The similarities continue with the display as well. Both phones feature a 6.1-inch display which is capable of going up to 1200 nits in HDR mode. The 13 has a slight edge with its 800 nits peak brightness compared to the 625 of the 12. But how does this translate in real life? Well, in direct sunlight, both phones do a decent job. The 13 does seem to have the upper hand though. Indoor use is much more pleasant. The slim bezels and the OLED displays are equally matched and provide similar viewing experience in regular day-to-day use. Battery life, as expected, is where the experience differs slightly. I have done a few battery tests in the past and I will do another one when iOS 26 launches, so be sure to be subscribed to the channel for that. But the iPhone 13 always wins in these battery tests. Not exactly a surprise. In terms of capacity, the 12 has a 2815 mAh cell, which I remember way back then was considered very small, while the 13 has a 3240 mAh, which is still respectable. Now the 13 I have is at 88% battery health compared to the 100% of the 12, so the 12 does tend to perform on par with the 13 in battery tests. That said, there's a likely chance you'll need to recharge them at least once during the day if you are a heavy user. Now both phones do charge at 15 watts wired or wirelessly, so that's another similarity they share. Rest of the features like software and performance are also quite similar. The iPhone 12 is powered by the A14 Bionic chip, while the iPhone 13 is powered by the A15 Bionic chip, which wasn't considered that big of a leap back then. But after years and years of use and updates, both phones still perform rather smoothly during day-to-day tasks. That said, the A15 will have the advantage of being a slightly newer chip and will last longer than the 12. The same goes for software. Both phones will receive iOS 26 and will probably be supported for another couple of years. The 13 once again has the advantage of being a newer phone and being supported for at least 1 year longer than the 12. Now that's a big consideration if you are looking to get more out of either of these phones. The 13 does become the obvious choice, but it might come at a higher price. Probably one of the biggest point of comparison between these phones are the cameras. I have done a lot of camera comparisons between the iPhone 12 and 13 in the past, and the iPhone 13 as expected performed slightly better than the iPhone 12. Now you can check those videos out too, and I'll do some more comparisons later this month with the 17 and 17 Air, so be sure to be subscribed to the channel. Anyways, taking a look at some of the recent photos, it does become evident that both phones share the same sensor, with the 13 having a slightly larger pixel size, making the photos appear brighter. Portrait photos appear identical with minor differences. The photos captured by the iPhone 12 do appear to have a softness around the edges, while the 13 doesn't seem to have that. Edge detection isn't perfect on both phones, but that's still the case with some of the recent iPhones. Other than that, day-to-day photos look quite identical. The color reproduction, dynamic range, and contrast are all pretty solid. As mentioned earlier, the photos taken by the 13 do seem to be a tad bit brighter than the 12. Sometimes it looks nice, but other times it does feel like someone is holding a light box near you, especially in the shade against a sunny background. The ultra-wide and front cameras are the exact same, so don't expect any differences. Both phones output decent images from these sensors. Now just like the main sensor, the ultra-wide on the 13 tends to over-brighten the subject sometimes. Front and ultra-wide cameras have been stagnant for a while on non-pro iPhones, so it'll be interesting to see how the 24 megapixel front camera performs if it indeed makes it to the iPhone 17. Nighttime photos and videos are all similar. The 13 has sensor shift OIS combined with a larger sensor, so technically it should be better, but that's not exactly always the case. The phones do output decent results, though nothing extraordinary. Videos are passable, but they do have the omnipresent light flare issue. Regular daytime videos are pretty solid on both phones. The 13 once again delivers smoother footage due to the sensor shift OIS. Now it also has cinematic video mode, which could help you get a better look with a blurry background. I personally don't like it much, but the results are half decent. Other video features are the same for both these iPhones. So that's the real story between the iPhone 12 and 13 in 2025. At this point, neither phone is new, but one might just fit your needs better than the other. If you value battery life, slightly longer software support, and better cameras more, then the iPhone 13 is probably the best fit for you. Personally, I think both phones are still relevant if you are a budget consumer. Are you team iPhone 12, team 13, or something completely different? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your experiences, especially if you have had these phones for a while. Hit that like button if this video helped you in any way, subscribe, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one.